Okay, one thing I noticed is kind of like how your hand moves around. It kind of seems like you're probably moving your whole arm when you're picking. If you'll notice when I'm picking, my hand is barely moving. Like this part of my wrist isn't moving. If you look down at my pinky, these couple last fingers, they're not really moving. So you can get like a comfortable position where your hand's really not moving. It's just kind of like just going up and down a little bit. You don't want your whole hand moving. Just want it kind of like wiggling back and forth. I'll show you. You can see like my hand is barely moving. A good way to practice this might be rest your last couple fingers. Just let them sit in one place to try to get used to being in a steady position. I think this just makes it a lot easier if you get used to not moving your hands so much. It just keeps it in an easier position. Another thing I noticed is the way that you're holding your pick. You've got your thumb curved up like that. It might be better if it's bent at the knuckle. I'm not sure, but I noticed the way I'm doing it, it's like bent at the knuckle. I noticed that you're using your thumb and then two fingers. I can see why that might seem a lot easier. It give you more pressure to hold it. But if you get it, let's see here. You can see that it's like sticking straight out, like at a 90-degree angle. You know, my finger's going this way, the pick is going this way. And then my knuckles is, the knuckle on this, let's see here. You can see how my thumb is bent like that. Your thumb is up like that, which I think is it's gonna hurt. In the long term, it's going to be a problem. Just because you're putting all that pressure on your thumb. I'm not really sure, but it seems like this might be a better way if you can just get it between just those two fingers and let all three of the other fingers just hang down. For me, this is a very comfortable position. It's no strain or no pressure. It's very, very relaxed. It's probably a really good idea to just practice. Leave your fingers stuck. Your bottom fingers here, leave them stuck right to the guitar. And just try to do the one string. Do it slow if you have to. Just to get used to the idea of staying in one really easy position. I'm just kind of sliding my whole wrist just down a little bit. Metallica pattern. It just becomes so easy to move your hand that way. You can see these fingers, they're just sitting there. This is a good way to practice just getting more control. See, as I'm moving, my whole hand kind of goes down. But my hand really isn't moving much. You can see it's like keeping the same shape and position. It's not just for palm muting either. Even when you're not palm muting, you know, it might be a good idea to just practice. You don't have to do this all the time, but just to get used to having a steady place to keep your hand. When I'm doing this, it's my hand's already in that perfect place to lift up and down. This hand for me, it's never really much effort at all. I don't have to think about it much because I got used to doing it when I was quite young. But it's probably the most important part is to get this hand working easy so you don't have to think about it much. And then you can just spend your time thinking about this part. If you want, let's see here. Simple exercise to practice. You could do something like a 1, 2, 3, and then a note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just something like that simple, just to practice where to keep your hand. See, I'm doing 3 palm mutes, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm letting up. You don't have to let up. This is just something I'm just doing. That's probably a good, simple thing to practice. That's another thing is like 3 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Any pattern works. It's just a matter of getting used to having this hand comfortable. You can see I'm really not even barely moving it. See how my thumb is? It's very relaxed. A lot of the movement is actually, I think it's just happening with the thumb. This part of the hand, it's really not doing much of anything. Same as my wrist. It's not really moving. So it's all just in this movement right here. You can see this part of my wrist is not even moving. Not much. Like it's not, if you're trying to pick like this, that's incredibly hard. You're doing actually really well because the technique that you're using is extremely difficult. I wouldn't be able to do it as well as you are. It's very tricky to move your whole hand. Very hard. If you just becomes almost effortless. For practicing around with patterns, a lot of what I do is I try to stick to where the dots are. Not always, but I'll use like the open fret 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, or you can use like 7, 9, 10, 12, just whatever combination you like the sound of, and you can just use the same notes over and over. If you want to get into making stuff up, it's good to practice patterns on just 2 or 3 notes, even just until you get used to moving your hands well. Like you can just pick 0, 2, 3, and you can do a lot on just those notes. So for just practicing and stuff, you don't have to do anything complicated to improve. The simpler stuff will probably make you improve quicker, even if you just do one note. I hope that helps. I know this video got to be a little bit long. I guess the main thing to take away from it is try to see if you can just get your hands staying in a very steady position. So it's just these fingers here that are mostly doing all the movement. Good luck, man.